at the stare of the champion against the challenger. Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Wait a minute!
What is up, everybody? This your boy, Celeb. Then we got my boy over here, you know what I'm saying? Katana, what's happening? What's going on? What's going on?
Same shit, different day. Trying to, we're gonna have to address that Cena Cody Rhodes promo.
So we got a lot to go over today, huh? So what's going on, man? What you got on your mind today, man?
Well, I mean, I think we gotta talk about that first segment, the Cody Rhodes and John Cena segment. Pretty sure everyone's talking about that.
Everybody is talking about that. I did watch it a little bit, you know what I mean? At first I wasn't watching it, you know what I'm saying? And what's your thoughts on that?
I thought it was good how they incorporated the whole Cody being protected from Cena on the mic. That's something that the fans have been saying online and social media. So they kind of incorporated that into John Cena incorporated that into his little promo, and he kind of tried to cook Cody. You know what I'm saying? He tried to bury him, in his words. And I think it was pretty good on both their parts. Who do you think took it on the mic on Raw? Who do you think?
To be honest, let me be honest with you, because when I watched it, I ain't gonna even lie to you. I watched it, and I felt like, Cody most definitely got the worst of that. You know what I'm saying? He got the worst of it because yeah, he did. He got the worst.
I don't know.
I got our guest in here too. We got our guest. I'm about to bring him on right now.
I would argue.
What's going on, Blade? How you doing today?
What's good, my boy? Long time no see.
Long time no see, man. I see you out there, man. I want to get you on here, man, and pick your mind apart, man, and see how you been. How's everything been going? You know what I'm saying? And how's everything moving? And what you got coming up next? You know what I mean? We got, we get about 1,000 people or more watching this stream. So we want to get you out there. We got some people, some huge promoters that be watching from like Maine and, all throughout the East Coast. We got some all the way out on the West Coast and Nevada and in California watching. So first and foremost, introduce yourself to everybody that's on the stream.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Blade Brown, top of the food chain, an alpha male from right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I trained out of 5-Star Pro Wrestling under LeBron Cozone. I've been wrestling for this month will make about 3 years. And the host of the show, a lot of y'all probably don't know this, he recorded my first few matches, actually, and took a bunch of pictures for me. So, yeah, this is my guy right here.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Blade, man, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, man. I see you out there getting jacked. You winning titles. You're doing big things. What's next on the food chain for the big dog, man?
As you can see right now, it's just recovery. About a week ago today, I was getting off a surgery table because I had to repair my pec. I tore it while wrestling. And so it sidelined me for a little bit, but that don't mean nothing. All right, I'm gonna be back in no time. I'm gonna be making some appearances. Like he said, I'm gonna be at DCW, that's Dominant Championship Wrestling, right here in Raleigh, North Carolina, and Selma. But that next show, April 26th, will be at the Raleigh location. And then I'm also gonna I'm the Mid-Atlantic Territory Wrestling Heavyweight Champ, and that ain't changed either. So every second Saturday, you catch me in Yorktown, Virginia. May 24th, I'll be in Nashville, Nash County, making an appearance. Because I got to put people on notice. See, they think that just because I'm injured, they can go out there and do what they want. That ain't how it works. All right?
Yeah.
I'm still the champ, homie. Respect that.
Hey, you know how they do.
Yeah.
You know how they do. If anybody getting sidelined, any type of injury that happens, they're quick to try to put you on the back burner on the injured reserve, and then here comes the rising star. You know what I mean, with their name in your mouth. So
Right.
I respect that. You know what I mean, especially with a torn pec. We see, look, you see him got it taped up over there. I see you, goddamn, got it taped up, man.
Yeah,
Hey.
I didn't want to scare the people too bad. It's a pretty nasty scar. I said, let me dress this thing up again before I get on this screen. Doctor actually told me, he gave me the biggest compliment I probably had in a long time. He was like, man, I had to make a bigger cut on you than usual because your muscle's just so much bigger than the average person. So I had to make a longer cut. And I'm like, hey, man, I'll take that. I ain't too bad about that. But it's a huge cut, man. It's literally like probably about this big.
Woo.
So,
And the pain that I could imagine, the excruciating pain as it happened, the adrenaline probably was kicking in, and then it all of a sudden started to come in and hit you real hard.
Oh man, you feel that injury immediately. That's a very unfortunate injury.
yeah, it sucked. But it was weird because as the champion I am, I tried to keep going. And like you said, the adrenaline was there, so I didn't feel it as much, but it did get to a point where I was like, hey, we gotta wrap it up. And then I got out the ring and I'm just like, good Lord, I can't even put my arm down right now. And everybody surrounding me, making it hot, making it worse. And I'm like, hey, I gotta give me some room to breathe. But hey, man, they ain't mean no harm. They were just trying to make sure that I was all right. But I'm healing up quite nicely. My mobility is coming back already. It's only been a week. I don't feel any pain in my pec at all. I feel a little pain in my shoulder, but the incision doesn't hurt either. So, I'm excited. God is working. So he's a healer. So I'm good.
That's all that matters, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a really good thing that you're staying positive. You're staying in your own, you're staying out of your head. Some people can take injury and take it to the head, man, and really get within themselves. And I'm talking from personal experiences, man. I tore both my ACLs and broke, my knee in 3 different places, man. And I took that as one of the worst ever. You know what I'm saying? It was
Right.
It was crazy. It's probably like, I don't know. I took that to the head, but I'm glad to see you out there, making sure that you're staying positive, you're staying, within yourself. And that's the best part about that. And
Yes,
so you said you got some matches coming up. When you say those are going to be, so I can let the fans know.
You said?
April 26th, I'll be at DCW, Dominant Championship Wrestling. If you're in Raleigh, if you're in North Carolina, period, you can make the drive. Raleigh and Selma is typically where DCW runs. Man, they got their own facility this past year, and it's just exploded. It's doing some big things, great stories, great matches, great production. You're going to feel like you at the big show. I promise you are. Everything is amazing.
I mean, I'm a big indie guy, so I watch all forms of wrestling that I can possibly find. That's a big thing that I mentioned to Celeb that we wanted to make part of the podcast, was not just talking about the mainstream, but giving the indie scene their flowers and putting people in front of the camera that might not be in front of the camera too often and stuff like that. Give them more exposure.
Right.
Hey, and I'm gonna tell you, man, up in person, Blade Brown is a monster.
He looked like it. When you said that to the guest, I looked him up. It wasn't hard to find.
Wasn't hard. It's not hard to find. Hard to find at all, bro. He's a monster. He moves around the ring just as quick as Bron Breakker. I mean, I've seen it firsthand, like right there, right there. So, like it was impressive to see, him, and then also before he was, Javon Evans, he was Jay Malachi, and they had a couple, matches, where I was recording. I seen a lot of stuff that they was doing, so WWE ID, man, I tagged you and stuff. So, you know what I mean? Come and get this man and holler, you feel me? Even if it's not them, New Japan Wrestling, AEW, you know what I mean? Where you actually be used and not just get set down on the sideline, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We tag all them, and a lot of people, like I said, watch this, a lot of promotional people, especially where Katana's at, you know what I'm saying? Where he's at with Limitless and all that, bro. You never know. You might end up out there one day at Limitless Wrestling and in the ring out there showing your talent.
I would honestly suggest Blade, if you can get to Maine and have any interest in attending any Limitless Wrestling events. They're a really good promotion, man. That's where MJF, Darby Allin, Swipe Right, Carmelo Hayes, that's where all those guys come from.
Right. Man, I would love to get out anywhere, to be honest.
It's really
like
good.
I said, my main priority right now is just getting healthy, but best believe I'm not just sitting on my butt looking at the wall. I'm sitting there making moves, you feel me?
Right.
And I'm developing plans, like injuries, bro. It's always, you got two choices. You can sit and waddle, or you can reset and take advantage of the time. So, I've just been studying, staying up on my word, to make sure I stay balanced, studying, making plans, and just figuring out where I want to go next. You got to do that. You got to do that because nobody's gonna do it for you.
For real.
That's a fact. So I got a couple questions I want to go through with you. All right, you know what I mean?
Dog.
Okay. So, as a champion in your own right, in your own mindset, how do you feel right now about the mainstream champions and how the story is going?
Everything is dope. Everything has a purpose. Everything is dope. Like it makes you just want to tune in and see what happens next. When you're a kid, you watch. Everything is a surprise, right? You never know what could happen, and we can all agree as wrestling fans, when you watch wrestling right now, you're trying to wake up that kid that's inside of you. That's what you're trying to do. And one of the best ways to do that is just the element of surprise. We don't know what's going to happen right now. Anything could happen. And that's what makes wrestling special. That's what keeps us on our feet. You know what I'm saying? So the title scene right now, I think everybody's freaking doing amazing. I love to tune in and watch everybody. And I'm excited to see where things go, especially on this road to WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so that brings us into a good topic. Speaking of the road to WrestleMania, first, I want to get your opinions on that first segment of Raw this week. Did you happen to did you catch the back and forth?
Cena and Cody?
Yeah,
I loved it.
I did too, man. I thought it was great.
It was fun to me.
That's what they should have been doing on the mic the whole time.
You gotta let stuff burn, man. You gotta let stuff slowly cook. You know what I'm saying? And that's all they doing. Can't give it all away at once. But I hear you what you're saying though.
What's your predictions for the main event?
Talking about Punk,
the triple
Rollins
threat.
Man, I personally am never gonna bet against Roman. I'm never gonna bet against Roman.
It's hard to.
I bet against Roman Reigns. It is.
I watched Busted Open yesterday, and they were talking about the Mount Rushmore, and Mark Henry was pretty adamant on putting him on the Mount Rushmore of WWE, and I think that's a huge statement.
It is a huge statement, but it's like when you really break wrestling, wrestling breaking down in the eras and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
When you look at it from that perspective, and you kind of take your biases out of it, you know what I'm saying? Because people our age typically wouldn't do that because we're gonna go back to what we grew up watching.
Right. We got attachment, nostalgia.
Yeah. If you're being objective, I can see exactly where he's coming from. That I mean, Roman Reigns you ask any little kid, they talk about Roman the way that I'm gonna say the way that y'all probably older than me, the way I talked about Cena. You know what I'm saying?
See it? Because that's the way that I've talked about, like, The Rock.
Right, exactly. So you see what I'm saying? So it's very easy, it's very easy to see why he would be up there.
Okay.
Man, we kind of already got into that subject. I was gonna ask something else first, but now we on the Mount Rushmore of WWE. Who's y'all's four?
Go ahead, Blade. You the guest, man. I want to hear your mind. What you got?
But that's tough. Are we gonna include, how WWE kind of like bought everything out, so do we include the WCW and all that, or just?
No. I think you was gonna say Flair.
You want me to be for real? I'm gonna
Sting.
throw Book. I was gonna say Booker T.
Oh,
Ooh. That's someone
that's
that
nice.
that's crazy because I wasn't even considering him in that conversation yesterday. But now that you say that, I don't know how you couldn't consider him.
Bro.
Like, you go back and bro, I'm talking about pre-dreads. I'm talking about fade.
With the high top knob when he was
was
doing the corkscrew leg drop off the top rope, calling it the
Bro,
Houston
The
hangover.
Houston hangover, bro. That's
Bro,
yeah,
bro.
If you go back and
that's
you
part of
turn
the inspiration for my moves. So that's the reason I do the front flip leg drop in my finisher.
For real, like that Booker T, you're right, Blade. That Booker T, that from when he broke off from Sister Sherry and Stevie Ray to the time he was doing his. Yeah, you're right, man. Because
that's a good one, honestly.
the move set, everything. Like if you really
everybody loved him. Like everybody, he was.
And he's what, like 35 times champion?
Bro,
he's had like 30 plus titles.
Yeah, multiple times. That man has so many belts from
and
tag on up.
Then he goes to WWE, and he's the best king of the ring of all time. Like that, he's the best king of the ring of all time. Like, you want to talk about playing that role?
King
Booker.
You can look at him and just learn so many different things.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people were talking about Travis Scott, like how he wasn't a wrestler, but bro, anyone who's trained by Booker T.
Well, I love Booker T, boy.
It's kind of hard to argue that Travis Scott ain't legit if he's being trained by Booker T.
Right.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. Booker T, now that you're speaking of it, now we on that conversation. Booker T.
He definitely up there.
He is. If you remember back in the WCW when it was the NWO with Booker T, that's when him and DDP was like actually getting a real push. And Booker T's push was just so much more impactful at one point because he would come out and do the and the crowd would just go with him like
everybody's up.
Everybody's up. Like everybody like that. He was the Yeet movement before the Yeet movement was made. Booker T, and he wasn't just a hype man.
And he had a lot of things that went over too with the fans.
Man,
his catchphrases, his dance, his
that spin-a-rooney, the spin,
everything, bro.
In the middle of the match, as soon as he kicked you, if he did the little axe kick on the back and then spun up, bro, it was over from there. You knew, bro, the whole house blew up.
Okay, Blade. So you putting Booker T up there?
Yeah, he's on mine for sure.
Who's your other three?
Kurt Angle.
Ooh.
Okay.
Boy, Kurt Angle, man, I put Kurt Angle probably.
Kurt was a beast.
He's the greatest of all. He's like the greatest of all time.
Kurt's most definitely on my Mount Rushmore of all time. Yes.
He's on my GOAT, bro.
Yes, most definitely.
Stone Cold.
Okay.
Gotta go Stone Cold.
All right.
And then this fourth spot for me, it just gets so because there's so many freaking people.
Yeah.
It's so many people. But if I'm gonna go anybody from that fourth spot, for me, honestly, it probably might be Randy.
Randy Orton.
Bro.
That's good.
Bro.
Randy has a deep career.
Randy is timeless, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Man's in phenomenal shape.
335 pounds right now. That man is a monster.
Bro, and he's every bit of it. I remember when I seen him when I was at SmackDown standing right next to him. When I look up and I was like, bro. This man is like a tree. Like he's huge, bro.
That's a pretty good one right there, honestly.
Yeah, it is. That is.
Booker T, Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, and who was the last one?
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. Those are my favorite. Like, I love.
That's a solid list, right?
But it's
there.
just so many people, man. Shawn Michaels.
Oh yeah, HBK.
Freaking Undertaker, Kane.
Yeah.
So when you ask AI this question, and when you ask AI who the top 4 most famous WWE superstars are of all time, it gives
All
you
right, AI, don't get your ass kicked.
It gives you the same answer, just in a different order, and it's Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, and Undertaker.
Hogan.
I would
definitely
remove him just for his status in the industry right now.
Sorry, I would have to remove him just because of he's Hulk Hogan right now.
For reasons.
Like who else is on there? Wait a minute. Who else is on there?
Stone Cold, The Rock, and Undertaker.
Okay. Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. You gotta we gotta come up.
But impact on wrestling, it's hard to deny him.
Merch sells, action figure sales. You know what I mean? Remember the Rock'em Sock'ems? Remember the
right?
Remember to have those and wrestling.
It's not the Mount Rushmore of moralities.
For real though, who's on the? He ain't there. He's most definitely not there. But okay. All right. Okay.
My list would definitely be different. I'm not, obviously Hogan would not be on my list.
No.
I as much as Rey Mysterio is my favorite wrestler, I don't think I could put him on there because a good bit of his career began in WCW.
Well, why don't we just say Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
Because that'd be a way harder conversation. It's already hard enough.
Make it hard. Do the job.
Because I think if you're doing of wrestling of all time, you'd have to do like international. You probably have to do like international.
Okay.
Ric Flair's without a doubt on that list if you're doing of wrestling.
All right, that's one.
I don't know how impactful it was. I mean, it kind of. Bruno Sammartino had his reign was kind of.
But did anybody really get to see that?
That part. I mean, a lot of people got to see it. Bruno Sammartino.
No. I'm not hating on Bruno. No wrestling fan. No Mark out there think I'm hating. I'm not. I'm just saying. Did anyone get to really get to witness the specialty of Bruno Sammartino? Like he was something special, something we have heard, and the stats that we have seen.
The title, so the title reign alone, man. The title reign alone is just ridiculous.
What is it? 5,000 days, or something like that? A half a lifetime.
It's a very long time.
Bro, you most definitely love the Attitude Era for sure. Dank Dad's podcast.
I ain't even mad at that list right there.
Oh, I'm not. Let's pull that back up.
Triple H.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Triple H was it, bro. The cerebral assassin, bro. Come on.
That's a solid list too.
That's the good thing about wrestling, bro.
Hey, hold up. Dank Dad's podcast. I appreciate y'all coming on. Hey, that's a real good homie right there, y'all out in Reno, Nevada. Y'all go check out his podcast. Dank Dad's podcast. That's a dope ass podcast. And come on, go show him up some love. I appreciate y'all for stopping by for real. That's some love right there.
So his first reign was 8 years. His second reign,
8 years.
Yeah,
bro, I'm sick.
His second reign was 1,237 days, bringing his total combined time as champion to 4,040 days.
Buddy just wanted to keep the title, huh?
That is an insane accolade.
He had a no loss clause. He had a no loss clause, bro.
That's a hard,
not losing.
That's a hard list. Like if you're talking of all time in all wrestling, that's such a hard list to come up with.
It's extremely tough.
I can most
It's
definitely.
way easier for me to do it in the WWE, and even the WWE is tough to do.
Hey, I can most definitely tell you mine of all time wrestlers, of all of them.
Go for it.
Number 1, The Rock. Number 2, Sting. Number 3, AJ Styles. Number 4, y'all gonna
you fucked me all up with AJ. I love AJ Styles. Nothing against AJ
listen,
Styles.
But people don't remember AJ Styles the way that I vividly remember watching AJ Styles. Like, the man is amazing in the ring.
He's
my 4th.
incredible.
Here's my 4th.
Yep.
Kenny Omega. The Rock,
See?
Sting, AJ Styles, Kenny Omega.
Ain't even. Why you think we're gonna judge you for that? Why?
I don't know, because those. Hey,
he's probably one of my favorite wrestlers right now. So
hey, he has always, since New Japan Wrestling, the man can speak Japanese fluently.
Yeah,
it's his second language, or now his first language. You know, Sting. Hell yeah! Look, Sting is my guy. Let me explain. I'm gonna go down the list. Let me explain The Rock. Everybody know The Rock. He was just the most electrifying man to us. Like the things that he said, the outfits that he came to the ring in, he was polarizing. He changed the game. He really did. The reason why I say Sting, because the man literally revolutionized not having to talk on the mic. He brought you an ass whooping. He didn't have to say nothing. He stayed in the rafters for over a year without a word on the mic and put the most fear in every wrestler's heart and put the most thought in your mind. Like, what the hell is he going to do next week? He always had you thinking, what is Sting going to do next? You didn't know if he was dressed up as a fan. You didn't know if he was going to be part of the NWO. You didn't know if he was going to help Hulk Hogan or whoop his ass. You didn't know what Sting was going to be capable of doing. But surprise, surprise, he did it. So, and look.
Man, that's such a hard list. I'm still trying to think of 2. If I did like all wrestling, I can't even it's so hard for me to pick out of.
Now listen, AJ Styles. I say AJ. Now you got to think about it. From TNA, New Japan Wrestling, he was one of the greatest wrestlers there. Period. And not saying that he was the best.
Undoubtedly. I just don't know if he.
Man, you gotta watch AJ's.
I'll say AJ was the best. Shoot.
Man,
no,
I love AJ, bro.
No, AJ without a doubt is gonna go down as a legend. It's so hard for me to put him on that level over other people on like a.
The reason why I say AJ over Kurt Angle for me, because I love Kurt Angle. He's my top 5. Kurt Angle's my top 5. If I could have put 5, I would have put Kurt Angle next. But the reason why I say AJ over Kurt is because I feel like when Kurt left the WWE, he went to the TNA where AJ was already there. AJ didn't need Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle needed AJ really at that moment because you went to his company where AJ was already making a name for himself. If you knew AJ Styles and knew his career, Buddy was doing astronomical things.
Oh no, without a doubt. But I don't know if they were astronomically impactful on the industry in the ways that other people's impact was.
Okay, to each his own. Okay, to each his own. And then we got Kenny Omega. We all know he is Kenny Omega. There's nothing to really explain about a person who is a walking title belt.
See, now I think if AJ had the type of promo skills and character build that someone like a Kenny Omega had, then he's undoubtedly on that list somewhere up there, because that's what made half of Kenny Omega, more so than just his athleticism, was the story. He's like Ken from Street Fighter. He's literally the American kid that went to Japan, learned the language and the art, the fighting style, strong style, and started running it with them over there and reinvented himself. That's a dope little, you know what I'm saying, origin story. I mean, really, his origin story starts with not being used properly in Deep South.
Look at the question that was just asked, y'all. Hey, Blade, we're gonna go with you first since you're the guest. Well, who do you think is the most impactful? Cactus Jack, Mankind, or Dude Love?
Mankind.
Most definitely.
Without a doubt.
Definitely was man.
Hey,
Without a doubt.
when a motherfucker could come out as 3 gimmicks in one Royal Rumble. hey, but no doubt, it's most definitely Mankind. I mean,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wasn't even
Yeah,
like
no idea what was gonna happen when Mankind came through.
like Blade said, I wasn't even mad when I seen that person's list with Mankind on it, because he's undeniable.
Yeah, I mean, Mankind is dope. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I typically like the big, brolic, fast. That's type of. But Mankind, I don't care. When you come in at a time where one type of wrestling was glorified, and you just make your own space any way
Yeah,
you
that's
can.
actually
That's phenomenal. Like, Mankind was dope.
Yeah.
That's something my cousin mentioned earlier when I brought up this conversation to him when we were smoking a little while ago about the Mount Rushmore. He's like it you can kind of have an argument for Brock Lesnar.
Bro,
Question about Mankind though. Did any of y'all ever feel like when you seen him, it was almost like it was real? If you've never witnessed how Mick Foley was, because I remember when I was younger, I'm not even gonna lie. I remember a little bit of Cactus Jack when in WCW, but when he came over to WWE, WWF as Mankind, and he was in the broiler room, he started pulling on his head. I was like, there's something mentally wrong with this guy. Like, I really thought in my head something was really wrong with Mankind. Really.
He's just really good at his character, man. He's good at getting into character, and his promos were legendary back then as Mankind.
Yes. Yeah, bro. When he used to do the breathing, he
Bro,
would do
the fucking rock and sock connection, bro. Like, come on now.
the rock and sock connection.
Come on,
Bruh.
man.
Hey, man, that's what Mr. Sacco, man, when he finally drew this is Mr. Sacco. Say hi, Mr. Sacco.
You know, Mankind was that dude.
well, I bet that sock I couldn't imagine that sock going in my
That
mouth.
shit. I was about to say that shit had to be the most rotten and wretched piece of gear in that whole locker room.
I got a
bro.
question. Are you gonna take that Mr. Sacco, or are you gonna take that snake face? Which one?
Oh man,
Sacco.
shit! I'm faking injury.
I'm faking
Yeah,
injury.
Go ahead, put me in catering, bro. It's somebody else's time to shine.
Yeah, for real. I'm in catering, bro. I'd rather eat some food than eat some
Man,
damn
bro,
ass.
that's some crazy shit. I'd rather fake injury like fucking Bret Hart was about to move out. Like Bret Hart moved out the way when Yokozuna shit himself.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm taking the sock on that one. On that note, bro, I'd have to take the sock, bro.
I'm
taking the sock, man. I can't have no grown man who's butt on my
Bro, not that damn big of an ass, bro. That shit gonna swallow your damn head in that corner, bro. That shit
Bruh.
crazy.
Just the sweat on
In
your
the sweat,
face
bro. In the sweat. You know
from
how many
your
people
on the
are in that
ass.
shit,
That's
you know?
just I
like
don't
when
care.
Booker T had threw up.
Oh
and-
yeah,
and
that's
I'm
right.
like, that's a real reaction
That
right
was
there.
a
That
real
ain't.
reaction, bro.
I remember.
Nah, bro, because Rikishi did some foul stuff, man.
He
This-
farted or some shit in his pants.
Nah, he purposely, bro. it's so nasty. I don't even want to say it on the podcast, but this man purposely didn't wipe after using the restroom.
That's crazy.
Yeah, see that's like
Diabolical, bro. That was a rib. I forgot who he did the rib on, but yeah, that's way worse than a rib,
it
bro.
was
That's
Kurt. I think it was
warfare.
Kurt when he
Oh, it
first.
was Kurt
Yeah,
Angle.
it was.
Hey, nigga,
Yo.
that's everlasting pink eye.
Bro, that shit ain't even a rib, bro. That's biological warfare. That shit's crazy.
Hey, bro. So, hey, Blade. So, I got a question for you. What was your favorite Booker T moment of all time?
Ooh, my favorite. Ooh,
Hey, bro, I tagged you in this one too, Booker. So I hope you chiming in.
my favorite Booker T moment of all time. I mean, you gotta love the grocery store.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Yeah.
especially when he thought he was safe, and then Stone Cold came out with that daggone jug of milk.
Yeah.
Got milk, Book.
This man just like, oh, the whole time he just hear, oh.
That's actually one of Booker T's favorite moments too. I've seen him talk about that.
I feel like that's everybody, even though that store is closed, $10,000 worth of damages. You know what I mean? That was that store's biggest highlight of all time.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they overpaid him. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they overpaid the damages.
Hell yeah, and Dank Dad said the same thing. Yeah, Dank, that's the same thing. All right, so hey, Blake. So if you ever had the opportunity to train at Reality of Wrestling, you would, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you? That's a hell of an opportunity.
What makes you say that? Everybody has their own insights and own thoughts of wrestling promotions. What really makes you say that?
First things first. I mean, I've met dudes from there. They always put out good products. You know what I'm saying? And you can't beat learning from somebody like that, even if it's not directly from him. The people he employed to be teaching while he, because he's doing TV, he got his own stuff going on.
Yeah.
The trainers that are there, I'm pretty, they got the Booker T stamp of approval for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So you'll be learning from under an amazing tree of knowledge. And then I just love good products, whatever it is. That's how it was when I played football. You know what I'm saying? If you put out a good product, I'm listening to you, period. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You'd be a fool not to. So it's really just the knowledge aspect.
Yeah.
Because every training school, you get something different. Every training school is not the same.
Exactly.
No matter what, you get something different. So, I mean, I would tell anybody, honestly, to hit up as many training schools as you can. Once you graduate from your own and stuff, try to get around a little bit, see what other people got going on, because you might learn stuff you didn't learn before. It's more than one way to skin a cat.
And just to let everybody know, you said you graduated from Firestar Pro Wrestling here in Greensboro, North Carolina, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, everybody that's just tuning in, go and check that out. Firestar Pro Wrestling. It's owned by LeBron Cozone. You feel me? And they're very good at promoting people and getting people out there, training folks and training wrestlers like Blade Brown. And a couple of ID wrestlers, a few that are in NXT right now. Noticeable name of Javon Evans. You know what I mean? And it's a huge thing.
Our boy Diego Da Bomb Hill.
Yeah, it's a huge thing for these indie wrestlers, you know what I mean? And for y'all to support them, put your support out there for these independent wrestlers, man. They be putting their bodies on the line the same way these professional wrestlers do on the screen every single week.
Bojack's out there too, right?
Bojack's been through there. Yep. Love Bojack. That's my guy.
Yep.
And he's even started his own thing out. And
yep, we're getting ready to get him on the podcast too. Be on the lookout for that. Bojack will be on here with his teammate Cam Hill. He was just at Limitless going up against some WWE ID wrestlers called Swipe Right.
They were actually just on NXT.
Yep. So be on the lookout. We got a lot of people coming out here on the podcast, going in and out of the wrestling industries. Blade, let me ask you a few more questions, man. You said that you rehabbing and everything. What is your biggest change that you're going to have to make now after that injury?
Truth be told, man, I just need to be nastier.
Mm.
Show a lot more grit. That's just me being honest. You know, this just kind of put things into perspective. Like, man, I've probably just been too nice. And I've been too patient. Like, patience is a good thing, but it can also inhibit you because sometimes it's not too much patience. You be sitting around waiting forever. You ain't always got time to wait. You need to get up. You need to go and get after it. And that's on me. And I've learned that. But I'm gonna.
Go ahead,
Top
man.
of the food chain is starving. That's all I'm saying.
That's good.
starving. I'm starving.
And what is your biggest motivation since this injury? What is your biggest motivation now?
Just getting out of my own way. Like, I don't care. Nobody, like, not a single person on this earth phases me at all. I don't care about what this person got going on, that person got going on. I don't care nobody got to say none of that. But my biggest battles has always been with myself. And I stood in my way a lot of times, and it cost me a lot of things, and I'm tired of standing in my own way. I'm sick of it. You feel me?
And do you feel like you standing in your own way has costed you, some time, some setbacks, some minor setbacks?
It has. I ain't gonna go too deep into it, but there's different points in my career. And like I said, even though my career is young, this month makes 3 years. But if I would have just jumped at more things, if I would have been out there more determined to make certain things happen, they probably could have happened. You never know. But it's all good because I recognize that now and not, 25 years from now. You feel me?
Right.
So,
Well, you know what they say, fam. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, period.
facts.
You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, period. And
So I have a theory back on the mainstream product. The Cena and Rhodes thing, man. I feel like they're making it too. I feel like it's a psychology thing. Like you said, when you're younger, you don't really know what's going on. But at our age now, we've been watching it for so long, we kind of get an idea of what could happen. Do you think that Cody Rhodes is losing the belt to some shenanigans? Is there gonna be some Rock interference, Travis Scott interference?
I think there's going to be some shenanigans, just like last year.
Right.
But for some reason, I just don't really see him losing just yet. The belt, I should say. I mean, we've seen his retirement tour. We got a long year, bro.
Right. And I don't even think, like, bro, WWE don't let people retire. That man ain't retiring yet, bro.
man, you gotta die before WWE let you retire.
Yeah, you ain't gonna let that man retire, bro.
Yeah, like you never know what may happen, man.
So my theory, I won't even say my theory. I think the best way to book this would be to have Final Boss and Travis Scott interfere with whoever else. There's kind of stuff leading that. There's kind of a theory out there right now that Seth Rollins sold his soul to The Rock too.
There is a theory of that,
and it's a very solid theory too, because there's a lot of subtle things that have been done. John Cena even said to him in the Elimination Chamber, "What?" Like he was thrown off by the fact that he pushed him, like they were in cahoots together. And he used John Cena's signature.
now,
But I think the best way to write it, to book it, would be maybe Seth, The Rock, and Travis come out to jump Cody, and then Ric Flair comes out with a roster and stops his record from being broken. I think that's the best way to book it, bro.
You think Rick the Dick Slick, dirtiest player in the game, Flair, gonna come out there?
How crazy would it be for him to come out with Batista and Orton, bro?
With Evolution?
How crazy would that be, bro? Some shit like that. I just want to see Flair come in there and stop his record from being broken. Honestly, I think
Somebody's
that's
definitely gonna stop him because think about this.
we already know Stone Cold's gonna get involved. That's pretty much a given.
But we all got to remember this. There's still disqualifications. This is not a non-sanctioned match. This is a sanctioned match still. So this match can still
Now
end.
you know the referees get knocked out at any time.
Yeah, shenanigans.
Right.
Oh, man.
So that
That's
don't even
shenanigans.
matter. Referee about to get knocked out.
You just don't never know, man.
That damn referee probably gonna be Travis Scott.
And honestly, bro, the fact that you said Ric Flair bring out Evolution, you just had me think of something. Ain't no way Randy Orton ain't gonna be involved in Cena's last run at all. Like, they gotta do something.
Oh yeah.
And he just came out and talked to Cody about something on last week. So that makes sense.
Yeah, it's fixing to be a Randy and Cody rivalry because Randy's already said that he wants his last match to be against Cody.
Yeah, he did. And that right there is I look at it like this. This is my theory. And it's not a really in-depth one, but it's something that I thought was gonna happen, and I think it's still able to happen. I feel like if Seth Rollins is in cahoots with The Rock, he wins at WrestleMania. Okay. The Roman Reigns, because he wants to get back at The Rock, interferes the next night against Cody Rhodes and John Cena and Spears. And there might be other interferences, but I think the final interference is going to be the spear to John Cena in the final boss, The Rock, which sets up a rivalry with The Rock and Roman Reigns.
There's really so many ways they could cut it, bro.
There's so many, and that's the best part about being able to have that air where you can be like, hey, there's so many different things that they can do.
Oh, did you also see? My cousin just told me about this. Honestly, big news. Let me see if I can find anything on it. Okay, so in a groundbreaking development for the professional wrestling industry, WWE and All Elite Wrestling have officially announced a historic multi-year partnership. This collaboration aims to foster a new era of cooperation between the two major wrestling promotions.
Whoa, rewind.
Shane McMahon has returned to WWE in an executive capacity to lead this alliance, following months of speculation after his meeting with AEW President Tony Khan last year.
So that explains why Shane McMahon was seen with AEW, because they wanted to sign a partnership with
AEW. When was that article written?
Right, that's what I was about to say. Say that again. Read that again.
We just passed April Fool's Day.
Right.
That could be. That could be.
Okay, that because that doesn't.
Because I feel like that would have broke. Like,
bro, that would have broke the internet, bro. The internet would have been broken right now. Like AEW and WWE in a partnership, the internet, the whole internet capacity would be dead right now for wrestling. Everywhere would be talking about this. Everybody would be about this because that's the biggest thing right now. AEW and WWE, if they had a partnership, bro, it's game over. They just need to go ahead and make it.
100%. The article was posted 2 days ago.
So
I was about to say, man,
they would need to have a fucking large scale event, a whole fucking week event where it's like they have shows.
That's literally the best thing they could do, bro. Where's WWE, bro? They literally in that Cena Cody segment they referenced AEW 5 times or more in that one segment.
They did, but the
like
thing
if
is,
AEW is what's making you pop, and that's your build to road to WrestleMania. Just fucking collab already.
I look at this. The collaboration has to be able to set in for like almost like a 100 million or more. It has to make sense dollar wise, and it would, because you would be able to put in people like Kenny Omegas. You'd be able to put in people like the Young Bucks. You'd be able to put in people like MJF. You'd be able to put in people like, the
Young Bucks versus the Hardys. What?
I would honestly want to see that, but then I would also want to see like the Young Bucks versus like the Usos, or
I want the Young Bucks against the Hardy Brothers in a ladder match, bro.
they're too old, man.
Give it to me.
They already did that. They already did that in AEW, I think.
Did they?
Yeah. They already gave us that. That's not a dream match. That was something that's been done. What would be dope is if I could see Kenny Omega go up against Roman Reigns. That would be a match that I would love to see. What you think, Blade?
I'm gonna be real, man. I'm ready to see more of this TNA partnership that they got than anything.
Hey,
I'm trying to see Ron Killings. That's what I'm trying to see.
Hey, if they let R-Truth go to TNA and win them up on TNA championship belt, I would be so happy. I would be happy. That's a career closer right there for him.
Wouldn't that be some shit if like R-Truth went villain too? What if he sold out to The Rock too? Or what if he makes his new what if he makes his new childhood hero Cody Rhodes and starts dressing like Cody Rhodes?
Oh man. Oh hell no. Oh hell no.
Could you imagine? He bleaches his hair blonde, puts on a fake arm tattoo on his neck.
Bruh, that's some crazy shit. They went in on each other though. They did. They went in on each other. I feel like that was like one of the best promotion that they've had.
People were saying that Cody got cooked, but I think Cody did some cooking too, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, it was even, man. It was even.
Yeah, that reference to Vince was hot. That
one was crazy. That shit, I was like, oh shit.
The reference to Vince was crazy. The two gestures he did at the end, the shout out to the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega when he pointed at the sign was crazy. I feel like he might have took some steam out of John Cena at the beginning because he kind of like started insulting himself off rip.
I mean, you take the page out of Eminem's 8 Mile with anybody that you know is hot on the mic, it fucks him up.
Yeah.
It fucks him up because John Cena is hot on the mic. He will roast you. He's good on the mic, bro. He is undoubtedly really good on the mic.
But I mean, calling Cody a Nepo baby, Cody has called himself a Nepo baby for years. So that's not really an insult. That's like
Nepo baby.
It's basically like you have generations before you that were good at the thing, and now you're doing the thing.
But John Cena is a made-up character from a man who had, sex toys named after other men.
Yo, that bar was crazy too, bro. The Zac Efron pedo bar, I did not expect, bro. I was not ready for that bar.
I was like, yo.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like,
I was not ready for that bar.
Hey, Netflix let them be able to. Netflix was probably like, you guys are just going to go out there and make us money, right? And they were like, yep.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't expect that bar either. What was some other good ones from that segment? Because some shit was said. Yo, the bar about Cody said that he's never had the crowd cheer "You can't wrestle." That shit right there. That shit right there was a bar too.
That hurts because John Cena is a man of 7 moves. 7.
Yeah, he got a tiny move set for sure.
He has a very tiny, small move.
Shoot, that's all you need.
He makes, I was gonna say he makes up for it. If you look at a lot of old school wrestlers, that's true. They only had.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That is
very. Look at some of them now. They got, they know it's all about that because they can sell other things.
Yeah,
that's a fact. It's the way you make your opponent look. You don't have to have a thousand.
Every wrestler brings something different. That's what makes a show. If everybody was the same, then what are we here watching? You know what I'm saying? Every wrestler brings something different. Sometimes sometimes you're gonna see the fast, high-paced stuff, and then you're gonna see the slow it down character stuff, and then you're gonna see the I'm just attraction, not what I do, but me. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
There's a place for all of it.
It's the whole package.
Yeah, so
that's dope. And that's what I do appreciate
I
about.
definitely agree. It's in a lot of WWE's thing. You got to realize WWE's marketing themselves not as pro wrestling anymore, but as sports entertainment.
No, they went back to professional wrestlers. Yeah,
I mean,
they're very clear.
wrestlers, but it's still very sports entertainment focused.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I see because I mean, it's the demographic that they have to cater to. They got to cater to that now because they got a lot of sponsorships that they could lose, or a lot of, people will just stop watching if they go back to an edgier, more,
R-rated.
Right, that R-rated program that we used to watch. Nigga, we used to watch motherfuckers almost having sex on the screen, bro. Lita and Edge was naked in there, bro.
Yeah, bro. AEW's had yet to do anything like that. AEW's had yet to make anyone give birth to a hand.
You know what I'm saying? Though? You know what I mean? I'm talking about back in our day. You know what I mean? You don't have to do that.
No, I am too.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to do that no more. But you know what I'm trying to say? That the edgier shit that WWE would get into now would be similar to AEW, and what they're trying not to do is just trying to copycat a product, which it's a good product, that AEW puts out. I'm not hating on any product.
My whole point was though that WWE's made entertainment a focal point of their promotion over wrestling more so.
Makes sense.
It's not really about athleticism or spot heavy matches or crazy bumps. It's more about name, image, and likeness. It's about bringing in influencers or celebrities that will attract a casual fan to wrestling, as opposed to a diehard wrestling fan.
But hey, Blade, let me ask you a question. What would you rather build first? What would you rather do? And I ain't hating on nothing. Would you rather do like more of the spots and be seen for your, the stuff that you do in the ring, or would you like to have your name, your image, and your likeness from an NIL built around you?
The latter, because if you ain't gonna be able to move the same way forever.
Right.
It is what it is. Nobody is. Nobody can do that. Even if you stay in great shape and all that, you notice when wrestlers get older, some moves they just stop doing because it's like juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But why they still out there in the big spot making it big? Because of them. Because it's who they are.
Right.
What they built their brand. You know what I'm saying? So definitely that the focus on building a brand is way more important. But at the same time, you still need to have some sizzle to your steak, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, and it's not even got to be anything crazy, but everybody got something. Like some moves you just associate.
You gotta have some type of high energy something.
Yeah, you just associate it with that. You associate certain moves with that person. Like, when they signal for this, oh my gosh, it's over.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And that's just, that's wrestling.
That makes sense. Because I would, if in anything with me, I like to build the character, build the brand, build that person's persona, build them. You know what I mean? And yeah, that in-ring work, that's gonna come if they really, really spend the time and the effort. If they coming in early to the ring, they training, they're getting their mind right, their body right. Yeah, that's gonna come.
That's not really what I was getting at though. I'm just comparing the two. One is very wrestling athleticism, wrestling collaborative with other wrestling promotions, and they're really focused on the wrestling aspect of it, as to where WWE is very entertainment focused.
Now, don't get it wrong. because AEW has a good product for sure. I watched the last week the whole little bit, and the little highlight for everything was amazing. You know what I mean? So they have a great product. New Japan has a great product. Would you ever go to New Japan, Blade?
Man, I go anywhere big. You know? You know what I'm saying? Like opportunity, man, is opportunity.
Yeah, the New
Anywhere that
Japan.
show opportunity, man, I would.
So you wouldn't hesitate. You would take right off.
No, unless I pray about everything. So unless the Lord was like, no, this one is not for you. You know what I'm saying? And He would make that clear. But if that ain't if it ain't Him stopping me, then yeah, I'm going.
That
You know what
makes
I'm saying? You know, that's my goal, man. I'm trying to get out there. I'm trying to be somewhere big, somewhere big, somewhere notable.
Yeah, they actually had the kickoff to the Road to Sakura was yesterday for New Japan.
Yeah, New Japan has produced a
Pretty-
lot of big
Pretty
names.
big event.
A lot of big names, and that a lot of people have hit it huge going over to New Japan. You know, people like AJ Styles, for instance, Cody Rhodes, Finn Balor, people like that have actually made
Lot
it
of people.
huge. A lot of people have made big money in Japan as a professional wrestler.
Crazy thing is, WWE actually used to do work with New Japan way back in the day.
They did a
Yeah.
lot of work with them. They did a lot of work. That's why you got Tanaka Michinoku and all them, and Tajiri and all them. They was all coming through because of that partnership. I don't know whatever happened to that, But Blade, so how long you got going until you're back in the ring full time?
It's gonna be about 3 months, man.
3 more months, y'all. The dog gonna eat in 3 more months. That he said. He said 3 more months. He's coming for you.
So, Blade, for some people that might be, watching the stream and can visibly see that you are much bigger than both of us. What's your diet, man? What the hell you be eating? What are they feeding you?
Meat.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm very, very, very big on my protein intake, and I get my protein from different sources. Chicken number one because it's cheap. Beef, and eggs, yogurt, things of that nature. Almonds. I eat a lot of fruit and a lot of vegetables, and I try to eat a lot of good carbs like rice, potatoes. And I just cycle it around, mix it up how I like it. I'm very simple, man. I'm very simple.
I like to hear, man. I like to hear that.
Oh yeah.
That's like Brock Lesnar. Everyone thought that man was eating like super healthy and stuff like that. He's like, nah, man, I'm just eating.
Yeah.
He said, I'm just eating.
So how much you naturally walk around at, Blade? About 225, 230?
Yep. Hit it right on the nose.
Okay.
Hit it right on the nose.
You planning on
what's
putting on any
the,
more weight?
Say that one more time.
You planning on putting any more weight on?
I kind of want to shred up a little bit. Maybe be about 220. When I was my best, aesthetically wise, still keeping my strength, I was like 218. And I was just a rock. You know what I'm saying? So kind of want to be around there. But it's 225. I carry it well. And it's not too much more. As long as I look good and I look swole, I'm straight.
There you go.
so before your injury, because I'm sure your routines changed up a lot, and you're rehabilitating your injury and whatnot. What was your workout schedule and routine looking like before that?
So I will rotate 3 days of lifting, and then in between those 3 days it'd be either recovery or conditioning. So, I was a football player through college, so I was always big on power cleans and squats and now plyometrics because I want to be athletic as well. A lot of isolated movements like barbell, Bulgarian split squats and stuff like that. And then my conditioning would range. So sometimes I go down to the MMA gym and I would do a little bit of that. Jumping rope, sprints, 100-yard sprints, hill sprints, 200-yard sprints, things of that nature. And so yeah.
And how often a week did you do that?
I'm on, man, pretty much about 3 to 5 days a week. Sometimes it just depends. If it's a week where if it's a week where I'm heavy, where I got a heavy weekend with wrestling, I want to give myself enough time to recover. Because when I go to my workouts, I like to go hard. I like to push. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you're gonna grow is by pushing. Right? But I want to allow enough time between that to recover. So if I got a heavy weekend, I'll probably go about 3 or 4 days and then recover and then go wrestle.
Okay.
So it depends.
And so what are you going to change up now after the injury? What's the routine that you're thinking about now?
The same thing, because once I'm healed, I'm healed. I'm well back to it. You know what I'm saying? I just got to slowly work my way back up to it. So,
Right.
I treat myself like I'm brand new, because honestly, taking 3 months off, and it won't be a true 3 months off because I'll be doing rehab, and rehab
Right.
You know how rehab is.
Yeah.
But I'll go back in the gym and build myself up from ground zero. I'll start with just the movements and then progress from there. And then, everything will snap back like it should. Muscle memory is real.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So what do y'all think of Swerve Strickland's run right now, man? You think he's getting the title?
I think so.
That's what it's looking like, bro. That man popped off on damn what was it, Dynamite last night?
Yeah.
I mean, when you getting paid almost $20 million or more, shit, you better have the belt around your waist.
Bro, Swerve, that just goes to show you, bro, underutilized talent elsewhere can become a golden goose in another company.
That's a fact. That's with anybody. That's with any talent. You see what's going on with Ricky Saints, Ethan Page. You know what I mean? They're getting a lot more star push than what they were in AEW. But I mean, I'm not hating on nothing. It's just to each its own. That's just like in the NFL. If a quarterback is in a bad system and the system is terrible and built around him, he ain't gonna do good. But as soon as you go over to a new system and have a couple pieces placed in for him, he about to show out.
I'm not a huge fan of the Ricky Saints gimmick, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not.
I mean,
it's not resonating with me yet.
I mean, when you go around blessing people on the forehead, I mean,
I see that Karrion Kross's contract's fixing to run out.
They'll renew that.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like all they've been doing with him lately is those weird hair copying promos where he tries to like manipulate people.
Hey man, anything could change, man.
Right. He had a huge push not long ago.
Anything could change, and you can see somebody, and they could see them potentially doing something else with them in the future. Or sometimes, man, like when you look at them, some people are just a cornerstone that you just can't do without right now. That and it may not be something, wrestling's a very right now business. They tell us that all the time. That's why you can fluctuate so much. But it's not that you're not important. It's just right now, this isn't what we need. But an idea might come up in creative or something, you never know. And they could look and be like, oh man, he'd be perfect for this.
But remember, they also have a partnership with TNA. So he can get signed back and then start doing work, in TNA, showing up in TNA, maybe build a new faction with these young guys. And you know what I mean? There's a lot of possibilities. And that's why it's good to have an open door with other promotions so that you can work your talent, so that they can get, to work. And it's also good. And I understand that the reason why WWE never really did it is because of injuries and things like that. But that's why you need to get a wrestlers union going on. You know what I mean? So that when these wrestlers do get injured under policy, they're able to get, they get their repairs, get help. get fixed up. They're putting their bodies and sometimes their life on the line. One fuck up, one botch spine buster off the ropes could leave you in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? And look at Blade right now. In the injury in the ring, doing something he loved, professional wrestling. You know what I mean? If there was something intact where there was a union for insurance for coverage for these wrestlers, man, it would be so much helpful. It would be very helpful, most definitely.
I agree.
And I mean, I ain't trying to pull what's his name? Oh boy, that Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I'm not trying to pull a Jesse the Body Ventura, but it's just true. There's a lot of that can happen in the ring, but if you open up the door to where there's talent hey, Blade, you want to go over to New Japan and you want to go wrestle Shinsuke in Tokyo Dome? What? What? Hell yeah. I can go get seen over here? Yeah. Okay. There's no reason of, I can't let you go because what about injury? What if you get injured there? You know what I mean? You ain't got that to worry about because if you get injured there, you have the union cover your injury. You're good. Go perform well. Go do your thing. Go put yourself out there. Go brand yourself.
Right.
Man, Animal ain't never did no springboard backflip in real life.
Hey man, video games, anything's possible. Whatever you want, man.
You do springboard backflips, man? Hell no.
Man, heck no. I'd be sitting here with a lot worse than a torn pec if I ever even tried.
Hey, my tiny ass can't even do that, bro. Ever since I started smoking, my brain don't want me to flip backwards.
Doing that, man.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Blade, I still got all your interviews and stuff, man, from when you was doing when you was at Firestar. I still got all of that shit.
Man,
we're gonna be putting up. We're gonna be putting together a whole bunch of clips and videos. We're gonna be having some of the indie wrestlers sending in their videos and stuff from when they did wrestle and have their matches, so that you guys can see them. And that's going to be streaming live all day, 24/7, every single day on our YouTube page to show support to all the wrestlers in the industry. And yeah, if you got any, videos or anything, Blade, send them out. Any more questions?
Speaking of Mankind, Mick Foley's going to be at the next Limitless Wrestling event coming up in Yarmouth, Maine. I could probably find out from the promoter if they have any available spots on the card.
When is that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I'm going to the site.
I was about to say, if it's not in June, man, I ain't even worried about it right now.
Right, I was about to say, that's a little too soon.
Oh no, I wasn't saying to I was more or less shouting it out to the whole podcast.
Oh, okay.
I can't even find it, to be honest. They'd be posting so much stuff on this page. Let me go to events. April 26th.
Oh yeah, that's way too soon for Blade, but for anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, even if y'all don't want to wrestle and you just want to come through and watch the show, they put on a crazy show, bro. And it'll probably be streamed live to YouTube too, like the last one was.
I'm most definitely gonna stop by on the YouTube.
Shit, I'm trying to go. I'm trying to meet Mick Foley. I ain't gonna lie.
Hell yeah! If it was me, I would want to meet him too. Shit, For real.
Definitely. Yeah, man, Limitless Wrestling. You should check them out, Blade. They got a lot of talent there.
Word.
Diego and Bojack just came up here like 12 days ago and had a tag team match against Swipe Right.
I'm sure they killed it.
Oh, they definitely killed it. I mean, mind you, they put Swipe Right over.
I mean, that's wrestling. But
Yeah, right. But
it's
they
about
did it.
nudity.
But they did it. The match was produced in a way that I feel like was comfortable to everyone's egos involved. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like they kind of had it to where like Bojack got jumped outside the ring, got ganged up on outside the ring, and thrown into the ring post outside, and he was down. And then they came in the ring and hit Diego with the tag moves and shit and pinned him.
Well, that's understandable. They jumped Bojack like they should. They took the biggest guy out of the equation and then jumped.
Well, they also had manager shenanigans too. They had like some female.
Oh yeah, when you got the manager out there, you come on, man.
Yeah, they have like some female that comes out with them.
Yeah. Having a manager is like having Bobby the Brain Heenan or the mouth of South Jimmy Hart in your corner. They always interfere. That's the point of that. They're always interfering.
There was also there's a little Colombian girl named Jada that did the opening match at that last event, and she's a New Japan ID'd.
You talking about Jada Stone?
Maybe. Let me see. Yep, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've recorded a couple. Yeah, she's from out here too. She used to wrestle out here as well.
Yeah, her match was really good.
She's a dog, boy. She probably, to me, like the best women's wrestler out here.
Yeah, she was doing some crazy stuff, but
hey, from what I've seen, she is one of the best women's wrestlers out here.
She's New Japan ID, bro. That should tell you right there.
Oh, for real? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Congratulations, Jada Stone, on becoming part of New Japan Wrestling. That's dope. You know what I mean? Congratulations to anybody making major moves, making moves.
Yeah, she's a graduate from the New Japan Academy.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. North Carolina, man, go on, stand up, man. Like Pete Pablo said, man, y'all got a lot of work out here, man. A lot of talented individuals, especially when it comes to that professional wrestling. You know what I mean? They out here doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, like that's crazy. If you motivated to be part of the wrestling industry, keep on doing it, man.
Yo, Blade, I don't know what you wear for wrestling gear, bro. If you need some new wrestling gear, hit your boy up. I'll be making templates for the designs.
Word.
Oh yeah, they dope too.
Very high detail.
They dope.
Dude, I'm gonna have to come out with some new threads when I come back.
For sure.
There you go. And anybody else looking for some new threads, man, we got the templates ready. Anybody that's looking on a low, we also got merch, hats, shirts, all that.
There's a whole merch store coming soon.
Yeah.
It's gonna feature not only merch for the podcast, but for the individual talents on the podcast will have their own Wrestling Unleashed designs for the merch shop.
Yes, sir. But Blade, man, before we get you up out of here, man.
What up?
Anything that you want to let your fans know? How can they find you? Where can they go look? You got any, clips, any YouTube pages, any IGs? How can they find you, my man?
Yeah, hop on my Instagram, Blade Brown Wrestling. No underscores, all lowercase, just Blade Brown Wrestling. That's the same for my TikTok. That's the same for my Twitter. Oh, I'm sorry, my X. Well, I got to get more active on X, man, because
I do too.
I just don't be feeling it, man. I be mostly active on Instagram and TikTok. You can check the link in my Instagram page for a lot of things. YouTube, merch, all that.
And that's Blade Brown Wrestling on IG, on TikTok, on everything, on every platform that y'all look. Just go look him up, man. He's really dope.
You want to plug anything? You want to plug your events, upcoming events, one more time? And
that, man, DCW April 26th in Raleigh, North Carolina. Please come out. Please come out. Please come out. Please come out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you want to give any shout outs to anyone? Anyone you want to give their
Yes,
flowers?
Not at the moment. We'd be here all night if I did that.
He said, not in the moment.
I ain't gonna lie. Right now, I'm more worried about taking names. You feel me?
Hey,
I'm trying to come back and get right.
Any names in particular?
Everybody.
Putting everybody on notice, man. Everybody on notice, man. The dog about to eat when he come home.
I don't care who it is. I don't care. But I'm trying to wrestle everybody. I'm trying to get right.
There we go.
Hey, it's not a bad mindset right there.
Well, without any further ado, Blade, we want to go ahead and let you go. We know you got a busy evening. We want to thank you for stopping on by, man. Thank you for choosing to, even bless us with your presence. Thank you so much, man. We look forward to seeing you get off that injury and do major things out here. And, man, maybe, become one of them huge next prospects that we see out there in professional wrestling on TV every week, man. You got the talent, and I believe that you can do it, bro, for real.
No, I appreciate you, my boy. Thank y'all for the time and opportunity, man.
No problem, man. Stay blessed.
All right, man. Take care,
sir.
man.
You take care, bro.
Y'all too as well.
Yeah, man, that was a great guest we had right there, man. Blade Brown, everybody. Like I said, hey, when I first moved out here, that was one of the few day one people that I met at the wrestling school. And he's very talented, moves around that ring like none other, man. And yeah, bro, y'all go ahead and go look him up and go follow him on IG and go show some support. Go buy some of his merch or something, man. The dog gonna eat, man. Dog gonna eat. Shit. All right, yeah. So Katana, what you got going over there?
I mean, hey, that was a lot of it right there. I mean, you can
So, without further ado, coming up on Sunday, we got another stream at 6 p.m. A lot of things gonna be changed up. Gonna have different backgrounds. Gonna have some different designs and things moving around. We got some pieces moving to keep everybody, eyes attached to the screen at all times. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all, and be on the look for Sunday. We going live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, y'all be smooth. It's your boy Celeb. For Katana, we out. Peace.
Oh, Canada.
Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
No, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.